Hey there. I've been getting a lot of questions on the push-fold charts and how to use them, what they are, where do you get them, all sorts of questions. So I figured it would be much faster and easier just to make a quick video for you so that you can watch and learn this in 5 minutes. It's pretty simple. Okay, so basically what the push-fold charts do is it tells you what you should do ideally in a situation when the action folds to you and you're a short stack, and it tells you if you should either push all in or if you should fold. That's all it tells you. And there's a couple things that have to happen first. First of all, everyone has to fold to you. So, where's that guy's card still there? Well, this guy folded. I don't know why his cards are still showing there, but you know what? Maybe he, I don't know. Anyways, the action has to fold to you. So the question becomes, what hand is good enough to do that with? So is King 10 good enough to do that with? Is King 9? What about King 8 offsuit? What about 9-7 suited? Okay, so to find out, you can go to this website here. If you Google Jennifer MTT push fold chart, okay, what you want to do is you want to find out, first of all, if your site is using antes. If you have a, maybe you're using this live and one of your, your poker room doesn't use antes in the tournaments that they play, which can be kind of common in some small buy-in tournaments, then you're going to want to use this chart. If you're playing on Poker Stars, or you're playing on America's Card Room, or Winning Poker Network, or Bovada, you're going to want to use the 10% antes. Okay, so the way you can figure out the antes is you take the big blind, which is 400, and then you take the number of players, and there is 9, and so everyone has to put in 40 as the ante. So the antes are 10% of the big blind, and that's how you find out which chart you use. Okay, they also have one here for 12.5% antes, 20% antes, and like that. But most common is 10% antes. If you're playing with 15, then you're going to want to kind of split the difference here, and like that. But that's the basic gist of it, because each of these numbers is going to change depending if you have 20% antes, or if you have 10, or if you have none. So make sure you're using the correct chart. All right, so the next step is to take a look at your hand here. All right, now we need to find out which position we're in. Okay, so if this is the button, this is the cutoff, the hijack, and this would be the button 3. Okay, so we're in the button 3 right now, and the big blind is 400, and we have 2350, so we have about 6 big blinds. For the rest of this video, just remember that this purple number right here is how many big blinds everyone has. So we're going to be paying attention to our big blinds right here. We have 6 big blinds with King 10 offsuit in button 3. Okay, so we go to the chart, and we scroll down here to 6 big blinds. So you see the 6 big blinds right here on either side. We go to button 3, and we have King 10 offsuit. Now we can see right here, they start with pairs, and then it goes to aces, and then kings and queens and jacks and tens and like that. So we go to the king, and we see that right here, King 9 off plus is a shove. So that means that King 9 offsuited is a shove, King 10 off, King Jack off, King Queen off, and of course, hopefully we're shoving Ace King as well. So that's the offsuit kings that are a shove according to this push-fold chart. Now, as far as suited kings, King 4 suited plus is a shove. So the suit adds quite a bit of strength, because King 8 off is a fold, but King 4 suited is a shove. All right, so that's how you use the chart in this specific example. Okay, we'll go on to another one. So that's what hero does. Hero shoves. Doesn't look like it works out too well, but ideally, in the long run, you'll make more money shoving here than you will by folding. Okay, so we'll go on to the next hand. This is ace deuce. We have 4 big blinds, and again, to use this push-fold chart, everyone has to fold to us, which they do. And now we're in this is the button, we're in the cutoff, okay? And we have ace-2 offsuit, and we have 4 big blinds. So in game, what you're going to do is, this works perfectly for practice if you have it online, is to print out that paper and have it right next to you so you can reference it while you're playing. Okay, so in game, I would have this paper right next to me. Okay, we have 4 big blinds, and we were in the cutoff, okay, button cutoff with ace-2 offsuit. So cutoff, and right here we can see that ace-x plus is a shove. So doesn't matter whether it's suited, doesn't matter whether it's offsuit. If you have an ace, you don't even have to look at the other card. You know it's a shove right there with, oops, I was looking at 5 big blinds. Okay, well up here with 4 big blinds, it's the same thing. If you have an ace, any ace, doesn't matter. You don't even need to look at the second card. It's an automatic shove. So we Stuffy Baker. Okay, and then on the next one, let's see, hand number 3. Okay, Queen Jack offsuit. Okay, folds around to us. We have 6 big blinds. Okay, we are in, what position are we in? Okay, we got big blind, small blind, button, cutoff. That's right, the hijack. Okay, so Queen Jack offsuit, 6 big blinds in the hijack. So we start by going down to the big blinds right here, 6 big blinds. We're in the hijack, and our cards are Queen Jack offsuit. So go ahead and take a look at this and tell me if you think it's a shove or a fold. Okay, we're going to start by looking for the queen, and then we're going to find the second card. And if you are right here, it's offsuit. So we see Queen 10 off plus. So if we had Queen 10 offsuit, it would be a shove, and anything above that is a shove. So Queen Jack off is a shove. Queen King off, well actually if it was Queen King then it would be labeled up here. Okay, but that's how you use this chart. Okay, and you can see how wide some of this stuff is, and you're probably not shoving enough. Like, think about this scenario. Would you really shove 7-6 suited in this spot with 6 big blinds? And if you're not, then you're probably not shoving wide enough. Okay, so that's what this chart is very useful for. All right, we'll do one more here. Ace-10 off. We have 7 big blinds, and it folds to us. Okay, so we go right here. This may seem like an obvious shove, or it may seem like an obvious fold, but let's look at the chart. Okay, we got 7 big blinds, ace-10 off, and our position is button, cutoff, hijack, button 3. Okay, so 7 bigs. So we start by going to 7 bigs, then we go to button 3, and here we have ace x plus. Okay, so any ace, doesn't matter suited or offsuit, we're shoving it. Okay, so it is a pretty obvious shove. But until you use the chart regularly and with some consistency, and you have it printed out next to you while you're playing online, if you're a live grinder, then take it with you, put it in your back pocket. There's some sites out there that offer push-fold charts that you can have laminated and you can put in your back pocket. I don't know if I'd look at them at the table in game, but afterwards you can kind of go out to the car and look at your chart and see, oh, I had 10 big blinds there, and dang, that was actually a fold. I probably shouldn't have done that. Now, that being said, you do have to adjust your play a little bit here with some of these. And how can I describe it? I did a podcast with Daryl Jace, and I believe he was episode number 46. So you can go back and listen to that. And we talk about exactly this chart. And so he's basically saying that what he does, according to this chart, is he shoves a little bit tighter under the gun here. So the example he gave was, he said, would you shove ace-10 suited under the gun with 10 big blinds? And I looked at the chart and I said, yeah, I would shove that. And he said, see, I would fold there. I thought, okay. And then he said, now, if you go to the other side and you're in the small blind and you have, what percentage of hands would you say that you're shoving there? I said, well, I don't know. And I kind of read these off of the chart here. And he said, well, see there, I'm shoving any two cards. It doesn't matter what cards I have. If I have 10 big blinds or less, I'm shoving any two. I said, really? He said, yeah, because people are calling way too tight. In other words, they're not calling enough, so you get through a lot. So that was kind of eye-opening for me. So since then, I've adjusted my game a little bit to be looser on this end of the chart and tighter on this end of the chart. Not by a whole lot, but a fair amount, especially when it comes to the small blind. But you can use this as a reference and use it, to get your baseline play. And then as you're playing in game, you can see situations where you see, maybe this guy, okay, looking at his numbers, he's a little bit active, but this guy's pretty tight. He's an 11-9, which means he plays 11% of hands, and he raises 9% of them, which is pretty tight. So you can probably shove looser into this guy because he's so tight. And this guy over here is a 29-31, which means he's playing like almost a third of hands. You probably want to be a little bit tighter when you're shoving into his big blind. So that's just a quick overview of the push-fold charts. There's others out there. This is the one that I use, and I hope that helps. One of the other questions I got too was about the pink and the blue. Does that signify anything? No. It's just to help your eyes separate the columns when you're going from one to the other. So just to review, what you need to do is you need to look first, how many big blinds do I have? I have, 9 big blinds. Then you go to the 9 big blind one. What position am I in? Okay, I'm in button 4. Now you go up to button 4. What is my hand? My hand is 8-7 suited. So we go down here. Nope, the best I can shove here is 9-8 suited. So 8-7 suited is a fold. And that's it. That's how you use the chart. Right on. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope this helps. And, leave me some feedback if you liked it, if you want more, or if tell me what you think. All right. You guys have a good rest of the day.